YouTube, how's everybody doing out there? Aquariums by Mike coming at you. Saturday night, we're going to do installment number 2 in my aquarium plant guide, breakdown, propagation guide, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to switch gears and do this is going to be a couple plants in one. It's going to be for the beginners. It's going to be for the people that want to grow something, maybe never had a planted tank, or maybe this is their first time. These are all great options. What I'm going to go over in the video is Java moss, Java fern, and anubias. And these three are all very user friendly because they don't need substrate, as you see. Actually, you can't plant any of them in substrate. So number 2, they don't need really great light. They just need low light. And number 3, they don't need fertilization besides your fish, unless you got a really crazy situation where your water's too soft or way too hard. I would say if you have a pH of like over 8 and and your hardness is African cyclic kind of hardness, these plants will struggle in hard water. So that being said, we're gonna start out with probably my personal favorite of them is Java fern. What you're looking at here is a 29 with no livestock in it, just plants. I'm just getting it going. I just set this tank up about 4 days ago. I'm getting it ready for something, so that'll be revealed later. But as you see, I have a 24-watt desk lamp on there. It's a 6500K bulb. That's what you're looking for, 6500 Kelvin. Anywhere between 5 and 6500, even up to 7500 I've seen work. So anyways, it's not no light, mind you. In this bottom row of tanks, which is lit with LED strip, the Amazon LED, you see I grow nothing. 1, 2, 3. I don't grow anything under that because it wouldn't even be enough to support Java fern and Java moss. You still have to have low light, guys. So it's not just anything will do. Now, if I was to put this lamp over top like that on one of these tanks, because the height is friendly, it would work. So you got to take that into consideration too. So that's the kind of lighting you're looking for. T8s work, T5s work, but with this stuff, with Java fern, you don't want to go too high. You can burn it. And I saved a few burnt leaves because I wanted to show you guys. I had this piece of driftwood. This piece of driftwood has been growing for probably 2 going on 3 years. This specific piece right here with these plants. So mind you, I've trimmed and propagated, and people ask me for clippings and everything else off of it. So I have 2 different kinds going in there: Java fern window love, which is branches out like the fingers, and then regular Java fern broadleaf, I think that is. So I have it. What I did was I tied everything down. You have options with this stuff. You can tie it down with fishing line. You can tie it down with what I use is thread, like just straight up thread that I match the color to from a sewing kit. Well, pink and white doesn't match nothing, but this is kind of leftovers. That'll probably be next. I go through a lot of this stuff. But anyways, what I did was I laid patches all on. I patched it all out, like with pieces of Java moss. I do this kind of stuff over on the desk. So I lay all the pieces out, and then I start with the winding, and then once I get it wound with the moss all down on it, then I go back in and I'll tuck the Java fern rhizome into the strings kind of, and like turn it, and like however I got to get it on there, and after like 2 months it will attach itself. not a fast growing plant at all. Very slow growing, but like I said, man, it doesn't need substrate. Look at this bare bottom tank. Doesn't need substrate. Doesn't need a lot of light. And you know, it looks great. I love this stuff. You can also attach it to rocks like I have over here. Oh yeah, guys, if you're wondering what is going on here, I don't have any cool like Amazon unboxings like you guys do. This is my fucking unboxing. Is a 5 rolls of insulation, because guys, it is getting cold down here, and as you see back there in between the tank, you see back there to the wall. Yep, we don't got any insulation, and we are, you know, we're sub level here, so kind of this is a cold wall here, and it's really, the temperature's really starting to drop, so I got to get it insulated and closed off back here. So I'm going to close this all off, have a door there, and I am going to have a heater, a small space heater in here, and I'm going to heat the room instead of heating each individual tank. There's any aspiring people who want a fish room, there you go. There's something to plan around. First thing you need to do is insulate it. I made that mistake. So anyways, we're going to see, here's more Java fern that I got growing on just driftwood. It's a lot, you know what I mean? I like it. It's one of my favorites there. It's the baby plants. That's another thing I wanted to say. You can either, like when you get like 8 leaves or 10 leaves, you can like chop off however many you need of the rhizome and split it into 2 plants. Or it also, like when a leaf is in trouble, I found, or when it's really thriving good, you'll see some too. But when the leaf is in trouble, you see the tip here of the Java fern. You see how it's, first off, it has, I'm dosing both these tanks for BBA. I'm trying to eradicate that from all the way from my systems. But that's the beginning of a plantlet coming out on the tip of the leaf, because this leaf has been burnt, you see. That's what happens when you put too much light on Java fern. It burns. And I like doing it on rocks like this, because the whole rock over time will cover, like this one did. That was a piece of slate, actually. It wasn't the smartest thing, because I like to do it with some textured rock, like lava rock's really good for that. Something for the roots to hold on to. Okay. It's good in like 60 degrees, I've heard. I've never kept the tank at 60 degrees, but it's good till 60, all the way up till 90. So this is a discus tank friendly plant, unlike anubias, which we'll be getting into. So for the discus people, great choice if you want to do some stuff on your driftwood. And let's see here, what else is there? Oh yeah, it's good in brackish. Who doesn't love that? A brackish friendly plant. Which I got one of those getting started upstairs. Be revealing that later for a puffer tank I'm doing. And the pH you want is 6 to 7.5. It will struggle. Like again, these are not African cichlid tank friendly plants. You know, if you want plants, have a planted tank. If you want African cichlids, have an African cichlid tank. If you want both, have both. Just keep them separate. That's my humble opinion. It never worked for me. And we are going to go on to the moss segment of this now, which is, you know, here's, yeah, I just straight up go Java moss. I mean, it is what it is. Like, there's a lot of different mosses that are good, that are cool looking, that I'd like to get into. I live in a weird place that's kind of dead on the fish scene, so everything I do, I really got to do it either through other hobbyists, breeders, or I got to do it through mail. So mail, when I say mail, I mean eBay or Amazon. Sorry, I'm old, guys. Anyways, you got a lot of different types of mosses, and I'd like to get into them. Like Christmas moss is really cool, kind of branches out as it grows. You see how the Java moss kind of, I don't know, does that. Well, Christmas moss does it, but in a more defined pattern. Flame moss, which kind of grows up like that, I really love that stuff. Star, willow mosses, I've seen nice. Java moss is great because fish love to lay eggs in it. So if you guys, you know, if if you guys wanted to breed, I don't know, some kind of egg layer, the tetras or the rainbows, stuff like that, you could put this piece of driftwood in a tank with the tetras, hypothetically. And when they're ready to spawn, when they spawn, you can remove this, put it into this tank, and then, you know, 3 days you'll have eggs. They love the cover of it, and then they can't get back in there to eat the eggs, so it's great protection, even for fry. And fry love feeding off of it. All fish love eating out of this stuff. I mean, it's like a buffet for them down there. The, you know, food gets suspended and it's not on the ground. They don't have to pick it, you know, through dirt and shit and everything else. I know I wouldn't like to do that if I was a fish. You got to keep this stuff algae free, you know, which is always a struggle. You know, it can be a struggle. You want to see good green growth. You know, this is okay. I've had it going a lot better if you go back to other videos. But remember, I just set this up 3 days ago. Went to a transformation and I sprayed it with peroxide, everything else. You can make moss walls in your tank if you put it behind meshing, like this right here, mesh, like needlepoint mesh. If you put that down, Java moss down, and then another layer of this stuff, kind of like a sandwich, you can put it on the wall in the back, have a moss wall, because the moss grows through this like that. And they're pretty cool. Just do them up and then you just sell them and all kinds of stuff like that if you're into that. I grow my Java mosses also for like kind of like my Java moss grow out area. Just like I said, I do offer this on like on my stock list on Craigslist, and this, a lot of people will need this stuff in the area, and there's nowhere really to get it. I got tons of it that grows. I keep growing like this in these bins. Sucks nitrate out of the water. Who doesn't love that? Huh? I got 2 bins going like that all the time. When I need, you know, when I need spare moss, I'll pull it from there. It's good to keep this stuff clean. You see how the detritus catches up in it? You see all that coming out of it? I do that to this stuff every couple of days. It's always there. And look at this. Just saying, keep that stuff clean, and they'll appreciate it. And for the Anubis part of it, we gotta head upstairs. And here's the last one, guys. It's Anubis. It's gonna be this plant right here. This green one, sorry. There's a new leaf back there coming on in. This is a different type of Anubis here. Moss kind of grew over it. I gotta take care of that. That's a problem with moss. You see what it does. Anubis, another tank, one that's not good in high temperatures. That's so out for discus tanks as much as it sucks. I'm doing this piece of driftwood soon with Anubis on it, going like that. Again, this is another one you want to tie down with, you know, thread. Usually, a lot of people use, I believe, cotton thread because it disintegrates over time. That's a good tip. I personally use acrylic and then go back and take it off myself. You can use wire ties, whatever works for your situation. So even super glue, but I don't personally use it. It just kind of makes the driftwood like chalky white, and it's kind of nasty looking. I don't like that. But Anubis is a good one, but it does need some light. It does need, like, if you're running fluorescence, it needs like 2 watts per gallon on like a T8, typical T8 setup, or, you know, maybe a 1 bulb, you know, T5 setup. Again, CFL fluorescent twist lights, the regular light bulbs, nowadays they work great too, and they will grow this plant. It does like water flow. There's a lot of different varieties of it. I'm not even going to get into all that, but there's 2 different varieties of it there. It's like the longer leaves, and I think that's Bartieri. Anyways, guys, that's about that. I hope you guys enjoyed the second installment. These are all great for first plants, and, you know, rock it out. Let me know if you liked it. I hope this helps somebody. You guys enjoy your day.